Coming up on the news today, Raphael Varane is linked with a move to Bayern Munich in January. We've also got the latest on the takeover of Manchester United, rumours that it may be postponed, and also John Murtough expects to carry on his role under the new regime. Is that the case? Is he just sticking around short term? Let's find out. Hello, this is Stretford Paddock. I am at Old Trafford with the news today. It is Tuesday the 21st of November, and let's start with the big story, of course. Raphael Varane has been linked with a move away. Now, he's weirdly gone from being one of United's first names on the team sheet last season next to Lisandro Martinez to all of a sudden potentially leaving in January. And this is from Florian Plettenberg, who is very reliable, coming out of Germany. He says, exclusive news that Varane internally, FC Bayern has considered the 30-year-old. Discussions took place. Internal opinion is that they're interested, but currently it's unrealistic because of his salary. It's not a hot topic yet, but he remains under observation in the next weeks. Now, this is a potential move in January, like it says there. Seemingly, there was some talk of a potential loan, but the rumour coming from the other side suggested that Manchester United weren't keen on a loan and would want somewhere between 17 and 25 million for Raphael Varane. Whenever I hear that and you hear, well, United would like somewhere between 17 and 25, you think, well, 17 then. Who would pay at the top end of what another club wants? You're just going to give them the least amount of money that they'd accept. So presumably you're looking at somewhere in that, north of 15 to 20 million quid for Raphael Varane if United can get this deal done. Give me your thoughts on this, because he's gone from being one of the first names on the team sheet next to Lisandro Martinez to almost being behind Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire, which no one saw come in. And Ten Hag has spoken about partnerships, and he doesn't like Maguire on the left, so to play him on the right you have to play Evans. But it seems a very strange drop-off to me for Raphael Varane to go from where he was last season, I think sort of vice-captain even this season, to all of a sudden potentially going in January. Very interesting, but again, this is the first time we've seen a big journalist talking about this. There were rumours of Saudi in the summer, and now we're seeing rumours of Bayern Munich this winter. Are you surprised? Do you see this one happening? Do you want this one to happen? My opinion is that we've got a lot of players who need to leave the club before Raphael Varane does. As things stand at the moment, I don't necessarily trust us to spend that money wisely to replace him, so we'll have to wait and see. Next up then, this is some ownership takeover updates. This is coming from James Ducker in The Telegraph, who has said the Manchester United chief John Murtough expects to be part of the Ineos era despite doubts over long-term future. This is an article obviously sort of not necessarily contradicting, but kind of elaborating on all of the rumours we've seen over the last couple of weeks, the likes of Paul Mitchell, Dougie Freedman as well, potentially coming in this sporting director role, which would seemingly be replacing John Murtough. However, this article kind of pushes back on that slightly and says, actually, he expects to be here for this transitionary period, if not longer. And that there was even reports that instead of it just being a like-for-like replacement, sort of Murtough out, let's just say Mitchell in, it might be a case that the whole system is restructured. It might be an extra sort of person is added in there. We have another role slotted in. There's reports already as well that Dave Brailsford, who is the head of Team Sky and the head of British Cycling, a lot of people will know him, obviously works at Ineos now, Team Ineos, the cycling company, that he's already began his audit, that he's already come through Manchester United and is looking at all of the systems, all of the processes, who's working where, who's working with who, and apparently there are a lot of structures and systems that he isn't happy with. So we all assume that, the system is the same and we're just going to take one piece out and plug a new one in. But let's not rule out the idea that there could be, multi-layered system here where John Murtough sticks around for a little bit longer than people expected, or even that he sticks around permanently. Now, if I was guessing, and I was basing it on what we've seen and the entirety of the knowledge that we've seen in the press over the last few weeks, I think that John Murtough will leave Manchester United. But again, let's keep our minds open to it might not just be manager, sporting director, CEO, owners. There may be another layer or two in there to add an extra sort of, a few eyes on the thing and take some people out of other roles that we don't really hear about publicly and put more public-facing people in. Let's keep our ears open on that, because as we know, James Ducker is a very reliable journalist, and he's saying that John Murtough seems to expect to stick around a little bit longer yet. And if you haven't read this article, it does seem to have come from his side, John Murtaugh's side. I don't know whether that's him or his team or his agent or whoever, or just Manchester United in general, but it does seem to have come from that angle. So bear that in mind, of course, when you're sort of reading that and trying to gauge your opinion on the whole situation. Next up then, and it's our last story, but it's a big one. Fabrizio Romano tweeting yesterday about this Portuguese wonderkid, Joao Neves. When you hear the words Benfica, Romano, wonderkid, Portuguese, the €100 million buzzer is going off in my head immediately. We've been here before. Enzo Fernandez, Joao Felix, and is the next one on this almost sort of production line of young, expensive talents. Joao Neves is a 19-year-old midfielder. And if you look at his stats, you look at his numbers, he is astonishing. Unfortunately, if you go on FBref, it's only comparing him to the other sort of non-top 5 big leagues. But his goals, his assists, his defending, his passing, his physicality, his aerial threat, his on-the-ground threat, everything is fantastic. He's one of those players that looks to be genuinely a real up-and-coming potential world star. Now, like I said, he's 19 years old. He's already broken through to the Portuguese team. It's hard to say with any certainty what he will go on to become, but it does look as though he is going to be a massive player. And Romano was tweeting yesterday saying that Benfica have no intention to open talks for Neves in January, despite United sending their scouts many times to track the midfielder. There's the same clause that Enzo Fernandez had 1 year ago in his contract, €120 million. Who knows if United will be willing to pay that, but Romano there essentially confirming United's interest, confirming the fact that United have been there to scout him. They have been keen on this kid, and like I said, when Benfica are involved, they usually sell the players they want to sell, and they usually get the money they want to get for him. Let us know your thoughts. Have you seen much of him? Do you like the idea of bringing Joao Neves in? Could he be the future of Manchester United's midfield? And is he the sort of player we need to be spending 120 million quid on? We might be about to get about 15 for Varane. So what? Times that by 10 and we're almost there. Perfect. That is going to be all from me. I'm here outside Old Trafford, and it may be slightly cloudy there, but if you look over that way, which you can't because you're a camera and you can't see behind you, it's lovely blue skies. And let's just imagine that for the future of Manchester United, shall we? Blue skies ahead. It probably isn't actually, but keep watching Stretford Paddock. Hit subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also get your thoughts in on these stories. Murtaugh, Varane, Joao Neves as well. Get your thoughts in the comments. We'll be back this afternoon. I'll be interviewing Dave McDonnell from The Mirror, getting all the latest scoops, seeing what is going on with John Murtaugh, what is going on with the rest of the takeover at Manchester United. I'm getting a bit chilly, so I'm going to end it there, and we'll see you in a bit.